What up, everybody? Thank you for joining the Ask Patman TV. Hashtag Ask Patman, hashtag APatman. Today, we're going to be making bread pudding. Yes, something that's quick, something that's easy, something that's fun, you can do with the kids. It can get messy if you have the kids involved, but hey, there's nothing like spending that time together with the family. Right? Right. So while I have you, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. While you're subscribing, go ahead and touch that notification button. Make sure you put all so that you can be notified when all the videos are uploaded. Right now, I'm trying to do it once a week. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to go twice a week. So that brings me to the APatman 100 challenge. You help me get to 100 subscribers. Either you can help me get to 80 and I'll get the other 20. If you help me get to 90, I'll get the other 10. But that's what we're at right now. We're trying to get to 100, y'all. Yeah. So if you drop into the comments box and you comment with APatman, and that's all you say, I'm going to give you a shout out. But if you want me to shout you out personally with your name that I know you by, then you put APatman with your name. Because some subscribers are under other names than the name I know them by. So I may not know who you are if you're registered under another name, okay? So you can either just say APatman and I will shout you out with the name you're registered under, or you can put APatman with your name and I'll be sure to give you that proper shout out. And also, while you're in the comments box, if there's anything else you want to see me work on, cook, fix on, repair, something you want to see me or hear me talk about, drop that into the comments box as well, and I'll try my best to get that done. All right, it's just so many videos I have to try to get out here, with just posting once a week. Some things get put on hold, but I will get to your video eventually. So you just have to stay tuned to the Ask Patman channel. Now, if you stay on me about it, then of course I have to get it done for you. I'm gonna move yours up the line, okay? To the front of the line. But yeah, again, this is the only channel that I know of that's recording for you uncut. Well, not uncut because I do pause, but unscripted and unedited, okay? So anytime I mess up, you're going to see them. I'm not going to talk too much this video because I know I get to talking a lot. So we did the 100. Told you to subscribe. Don't forget the thumbs up. That's how you support. And told you about the comments with the shout outs. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna try to show you the little setup and the ingredients I have here today. All right. So I have my dish to bake it in. All right. I have salt, nutmeg. I'm probably going too fast for the camera. Nutmeg. I ain't gonna pick them all up. Condensed milk. Evaporated milk. Cinnamon, vanilla extract. I have cranberries here. So a lot of folks make theirs with raisins. I'm using cranberries. So I got the dry ones. But what I did, I had them sitting in hot water so that they can come back to life. All right. I have some butter. With the butter, I used 2 scoops of this spoon. So I guess this will be a tablespoon. I use 2 scoops. Boop, 1, boop, 2. Drop them in there. I'm going to melt this butter. and then I'm gonna let it cool down. I have 4 eggs in here. I haven't whipped it yet or mixed it. You can't see it just yet. I'm gonna adjust the camera. But I have 4 large eggs in here. I'm gonna mix this up. There it is. Look through my bowl. 4 large eggs in there. Then I have another big bowl and my whisk. Alright. So I believe that's everything. If I forgot to mention something, how you gonna make bread pudding without your bread, right? So I have a loaf of French bread here, and then a loaf of regular bread, sliced bread there. Alright, so as I'm going, I will continue to show you the things that I'm using. I also have some brown sugar, light brown sugar. You can use dark if you want, that's your call. Also, with the cranberries, like I said, some folks use raisins. What I want to try to do, I've never seen anyone do this. Now, someone probably have. And if you know, then let me know of that video, or let me know how it came out if you tried it or made it. But I want to try it with pineapples. I know, right? Banana pudding, no, bread pudding with pineapples. Why not? I mean, I even made it once with blueberries. That's good. So you don't have to stick to just the tradition raisins. Like I said, this is cranberries. I tried it with the blueberries. The blueberries are good. I want to try with pineapples. Um, I don't know about strawberries. But hey, experiment. I mean, it's all fun, right? Right. I hope one of y'all say that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and let my cranberries dry. So they came from looking like this to actually looking like cranberries again, like this. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that water. The water done cooled down. It's not hot anymore. So I'm going to dump that so they can dry out. All right. Okay, y'all. What I'm going to do first. First, I'm going to whip up the eggs. And then I'm going to add the milk. Well, I'll show you once I get this all whipped up. Give me a second. Okay, y'all. I'm still whisking. Once you start seeing them bubbles, you're on the right track. So, it's only been maybe 3 minutes. You see that? See that? See how creamy that's getting? I'm gonna do it just a little bit more. I don't need it too fluffy. And I used a pretty small bowl, just enough to give me some room, but not too, look at that, but not too much room, because you want it to stay right here so you can get to the eggs instead of having to try to continue to get it back so you can whisk it. So just use a small little bowl. You see how that's staying right there for me? I mean, that should be, you can go creamier if you want. Remember, I always make the videos for you to get creative if you want, so that you can add your own thing to it, all right? Okay, so we're done with whipping the eggs right now. Well, just the eggs. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the evaporated milk. All right. And what I'm doing, I'm getting this mixture together so that season can sit in there, and then I will start the bread process. All right, see that? It's pretty thick, but then I also have the condensed milk. So this condensed milk is going to make it sweet and also thicken it up. All right. So add your condensed milk, and you're going to do some more whipping with this. That's why I wasn't worried too much about getting the eggs so fluffy. I mean, I'm using a regular whisk. It's going to wear you out. You try to get them too fluffy. I mean, but if that's how you like it, then go for it. All right. You just want to mix this up. Let that flavor of that condensed milk sit in your mixture. All right. Me, I want to get all of it. Now, you don't have to scrape the bottom. It's your call. But see, that's still a nice bit. So, I wanted to get all of that. Then once you get pretty much it all, you can toss the rest. Alright, you can toss that if you want. You can scrape the bottom. That's your call. It's your stuff. Alright, just going to mix this up some more. Get that condensed milk mixed in good. Alright. I want to show you. Oh, spilling. I did let the butter cool down, and I actually just spilled some, so I'm gonna have to warm some more. I grabbed it too fast, but I did let it cool down. It's melted. I can go ahead and add it to my mixture here, but I'm gonna hold off on that. Let me clean this mess up some, y'all. Okay, y'all. So as you see, still see the bubbles up there from the eggs. Just mix that up. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add some nutmeg. Alright, so just going to sprinkle some in there. I'm not going to use too much. I do like nutmeg, but I don't want it to be overbearing. So okay, that should be enough. Probably almost too much, but that should be right. Should be okay right there. Alright, so you want to mix that in. Like I said, I'm allowing these flavors to sit. I haven't set my bread up yet. So I'm mixing this up, allowing this to sit. Let that do its thing. I did get some more butter. But it's still cooling down. So we're adding everything else right now. So next is the salt. Alright, you don't need too much salt because you're using salted butter. Alright, so you see that? Not too much. So what you can do, you don't need too much. That may be enough right there. Alright, go ahead and mix that in. I don't know if you notice when you get like chocolate, sometimes they have salt on it. That's because that salt helps that intensify that sugar some type of way. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chef. I'm just cooking this. It's just Pac-Man cooking. All right. So we're done with the salt. Now we're on to the vanilla abstract. All right. So I also like vanilla. Now some folks use the rum abstract or rum. I'm not gonna do the rum this time. But if that's what you like, go for it. They also have other flavors you can play with. If you tried something else, let me know. Today I'm using vanilla. Now, like I said, I like the vanilla, so we can get a little bit crazy with it. There's nothing wrong with that vanilla. Vanilla is gonna bring it out. That's what the flavor is, your abstract. So if you're using rum now, you don't want to use too much of that rum because it is pretty strong. So you will never use as much as rum as I just used in vanilla, okay? I say that was probably a good teaspoon of vanilla. Oh no, I'm lying, tablespoon. That was a good tablespoon of vanilla. Okay? So we done with the vanilla. I'm gonna save the cinnamon for last. I like cinnamon, but I don't want to add it to the inside of here because I don't want it as if it's a cinnamon roll, okay? So I'm going to save the cinnamon for last, and I'll show you how we're going to do the cinnamon. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I'm about to add the butter. This is the first one that's spilled. I think it's still maybe the 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3, because I did use big scoops. So there's probably 2 to 3. And like I said, I do have another one cooling down. So I can always add more if I think I need to. Okay. Most likely I'm going to add a little bit more, but since it's cooling down, I'm going to wait. I'm going to just let this sit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start with the bread. Okay, now you want to get your French bread. You get your dish that you're cooking or baking in and your French bread. If you had a dish that was the length of your French bread, then you wouldn't have to cut your bread in half. Due to my pan isn't as long as the bread, I have to cut it, okay? So I'm just gonna do it like that. I'm gonna take that, cut it there. All right. I can save this for half a po' boy. I'm gonna have to show y'all. That's a video to come as well. Po' boy sandwich. Now with that po' boy sandwich, we can go all kind of ways with it. But stay tuned. I have that coming for you as well. All right. So see that? That's about the length of my pan or my dish. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take and cut it in half or cut it open. All right. Just like that. Okay. Bam. Bam. Or I can turn it. Bam, bam. And now it's somewhat even. So next, you're going to take and add your mixture. Let me show you. You bring your mixture back. Like I said, I was going to add some more butter. Okay. And I'm going to save this for the rest of it for the top. Okay. So everything should be mixed in pretty good. So now you start adding your bread to your mixture. So you start with your French bread. Can you see that? Okay. Ooh. Ghost. Yes, that just randomly felt, y'all. I don't know if it's from me rocking too much or what. Wow. Don't get scared. It was just the bread. So, you want to grab all of the bread you can out of your French bread. Now, you can use any kind of bread you want. Okay? Any kind of bread. So, wherever you are, if there's a different type of bread you like to use, then use it. Oh, another thing I would like to try. I would like to try making this with cinnamon raisin bread. I think that'll be good. But again, now you're pushing the lines of being a cinnamon bread versus just a bread pudding. I guess it will be a cinnamon bread pudding, right? Right. Of course I'm going to say it. Because I can't hear if you're saying it. All right. So you just clear it out as much as you can. I mean, you don't have to stress too much about clearing it all the way out because the bread pudding's going to fall there anyway. And the reason why I'm doing it like this, because I'm using French bread, I allow the French bread to act as a crust. Okay? Everyone have their own little thing. This is one that I came up, well, I work with. I don't know if I believe I probably came up with this. So, yeah. French bread, sliced bread. So now you see your mixture still loose. So now you get your sliced bread and start adding it to it. I mean, it don't have to be perfect, y'all. Don't try to cut this all perfect. This is just gonna soak up and whatnot once you add it to your mixture. So if you're smashing it when you're trying to cut it, don't worry about that. Just drop it in there. Okay? Just drop it in there. You want this to absorb all of the mixture anyway. And then once it does, it's not going to be the same. It's going to bake. Now, some folks cut off their ends, but I'm going to leave them. I don't mind the extra coloring from the ends in the bread pudding. Okay, and if it changes the texture a little bit, it's just probably just soaking up that mixture quicker. And that little part will have a different texture than the actual bread because it's cooked longer. Just as the French bread is. You know, that's why it's playing as the crust. But Now we don't want to add too much bread because we still need this juice for the French bread, okay? So we want this to soak and then allow this to soften up so it can stick to your bread pudding. If not, it's going to separate a little too easily. All right? Now, I didn't add any sugar to this dish because of the condensed milk. Y'all see how I'm just getting this all mushy? That's why you don't worry about cutting it down all perfect and whatnot. As this is going to bake anyway and come together like a marriage as one. Okay? Okay, y'all, before I continue on with anything else, I've just turned on my oven to 350 to preheat. You don't want to wait till everything is done, then turn your oven on. Okay? I'm going to add some more bread to thicken this up a little bit more, and then I'll drop it into the crust. Give me a second. Okay, y'all. So, like I said, I believe this is all the bread I'm going to use. I didn't mix that up. It's pretty thick. So now it's time to add the cranberries or raisins, blueberries, whatever you're using. So, as I said, I drained the water and allow it to sit. So, again, that was the dry one, and this is after letting them sit in water. Hot water. Now, you can boil your water or you can just use hot water out of the faucet. If your faucet get very hot, then you can use that. And that's what I've done. I used the faucet water, very hot. Let that sit for, that's the oven, let me know it's ready. Let it sit until that water cooled down. Drained it. Let it sit. Drained it again. Let it sit. Then drained it once more before I get to this point where I'm about to put them in. I mean, each time it was less and less water. I just wanted to be sure I didn't fill this with water. So look at that. People gonna be like, where you get those fresh raisins from? You can get fresh raisins from anywhere. Go get the dry ones and sit them in some hot water. Let them rehydrate. Right? Right. Go ahead and mix that in. Now you can put cranberries at the bottom on top of your crust if you like. But just mixing them in at this point will be just fine. And you can put how much you like, okay? I can stop there, but we like cranberries, so I'll put a little bit more. Okay? Oh, you never want to overdo anything that you're using. You want to try to give it a nice little balance. All right? This is enough cranberries for every fork to have plenty. At least one biter, for sure, too. Okay? So that's the cranberries. Now you want to go ahead and add it to your crust. But first, take your crust out and don't forget to butter or spray your pan, okay? Don't forget that. I'm going to use the spray. So you want to make sure you get the sides good. If you're going to use butter, that's fine. You can use your hand and rub it on. You can use a spoon or whatever you have. But do not forget to spray. Then you put your crust in there. Okay? Do not add your mixture to your crust without spraying. Okay? So now we add the mixture. Look at that. Perfect, just for the size of this pan. Now, that was like a half of loaf of sliced bread, and I didn't use it all. So now, you want to allow it to sit. So your crust can absorb the juice, your mixture. Okay? So allow that to sit. Spread it out evenly as much as you can. Look at that, y'all. That's like a perfect dish. So it was 2 cans of condensed milk, 1 can, no, I'm lying, 2 cans of evaporated milk, 1 can of condensed milk. No sugar. A pinch of salt because I'm using salted butter. Look at that. Allow this to sit, I will say, for a good 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? Depending on how much patience you have. Now, if you don't have any patience and you can't wait, then you seen the oven is heated, you heard it beep, go ahead and drop it in. Now, if your crust separates from your pudding when it's done, that's only because you didn't allow your pudding to sit and let that crust get those juices as well to stick to your pudding, okay? So let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. And then you can go ahead. Well, no, I'm going to show you what's next after that. I almost forgot something. So let me let this sit, and then we'll come back, okay? Okay, y'all. So it's been the 30 minutes. So now I'm going to add my final ingredients. And after this, I will drop it in the oven. Y'all can stick around and see how it looks once it's done. If you haven't already seen this video, and you'll go off of my tasting. I'll give it a little sample for y'all. So next I'm going to use the cinnamon. Okay? Now once again, you don't want to use too much cinnamon because cinnamon can be kind of strong as well. So you just want to lightly go around it. You don't have to use too much. And that should be good. Okay? Now after the cinnamon, now this is my special thing too. You want to use the brown sugar. So you take some brown sugar and you sprinkle it across the top. as best as you can. Okay. Yeah, I'm making a mess, I know. But that's okay. That's okay, y'all. You can make a mess. Have fun with it. Don't be so serious. Have fun. That's what makes food good. When you have fun and enjoy what you're doing. Bam! Just like that. Then I'm going to take the last of the butter due to I let it sit. I mean, it's not dry at the top, but a lot of the juices did start sinking. So I'm just going to take this extra butter and just go along the top with it. Woo! Put a lot right there. Oh well. Have fun with it. Alright. Then you can let the rest of the butter go. And bam! There you have it. Stay tuned for the finishing touch. Go ahead and move that around a little bit. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Drop that in the oven. Think I'm gonna let this sit for a good 40, 45 minutes. Alright, I know I did say this was a quick one, but after all of the sitting and cooking and stuff, seemed like the fast part of it didn't went away. So here we go into the oven. Make sure your rack not too high or too low. So if you can find a middle section, then that's where you want it. Okay. And actually, all right, into the oven. Okay, y'all. Here we go. That's how we look. Now, I didn't make any glaze for it, but this is where you could add some vanilla glaze, rum glaze, whatever type of glaze you prefer. Okay. Also, what will go good with this is some vanilla ice cream. So I'm gonna just cut a little piece. I'm just gonna cut a little piece over in the corner because I don't want to get too much into it. It's still cooling down. Still cooling down. I did let it cool for a little while. I think it may have been 50, maybe 20 minutes cooling down. And I did let it bake for an additional 20 minutes. So total, it should have been an hour. And this is the final look. If I would have turned the oven on higher, then it would have been faster. It wouldn't have took that full hour, but you have to be careful with going higher because it also can make the bottom cook faster if it's too close to the bottom of your oven, or the top cook faster if it's too close to the top. So 350 for an hour, that's what we looking like. I mean, it is worth it. So let me go ahead, like I said, cut just a little piece. And it's pretty deep, for just me to have a little sample with. Ooh, you hear that crunch? Like I said, I don't want to have too much. Still nice and moist. Yeah. See how this come on out of here. Hopefully I cut it deep enough. Okay, that should get it. Look how that came right up, y'all. See what I was saying about you want it to soak? That came right up. You see how even, how full that is? You can't even tell that the bread was separate from the crust. Look at that. And look how moist that still is. Okay. So that's what we have. That's your crust. Look at that. Ooh wee. And like you seen how it just came up. Look, let me turn this dish towards you. Look at that. No stick. So you want to make sure you spray or butter your pan real good before adding your liquid. You see that? No stick. Yeah. So let's go ahead and bring this over to the plate. We'll leave that there. Put the knife up. So like I said, all I'm missing is maybe some glaze or some glaze for the top. And that's another thing. You don't have to put your glaze on the actual cake. You can, or pudding, the bread pudding. You can keep it on the side for individual servings, okay? So you just have it in a bowl, get you a spoon, and you can drizzle it on your plate or on the cake each serving. Alright? But if not that, you can do some vanilla ice cream right up in here. That would have been real good. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so let's get this taste testing. See what y'all stuck around for. So I'm gonna taste the bottom and see what the bottom. Look how moist that is, y'all. Let's get the bottom. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's bread pudding. Y'all tell me what you think. You make it, like I said, you can make it your own. Mm. Don't even need, yeah, don't even need the icing or anything. This is it, y'all. Not too sweet, just right. Flavor, raspberries, moisture, everything. Look at that. Y'all, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank y'all for sticking around with the Ask Pat-Man TV, hashtag Ask Pat-Man, hashtag APatman. We done did it again, y'all. Made another successful dish. Anyone that's not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. While you're there, go ahead and hit the notifications button. If you know anyone that's into YouTube, go ahead and introduce them to the channel. Remember, we're doing a challenge right now, the APatman 100 challenge. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, y'all. Once we hit 100 subscribers, I'll be doing 2 videos a week. So meaning I'll be posting twice a week. I don't know which days just yet because we're not at that point. Alright. Thank y'all. Y'all much appreciated. All of your support. Yeah, you never know what you can do if you never try to do something. Remember, Pat-Man told you that.